I'm Sandra Maddock, the president of iMark Research. About 2 years ago, we created a training program called the Fair Shake. The Fair Shake is basically not necessarily a training program that tells you every single line item of a regulation. It's taken a very complex, somewhat daunting topic of clinical research regulation and broken it down into 4 very simple, easy to understand areas. The problem is there's so many, and there's so many mixed messages that you're receiving out there, whether you're a site and you've got 4 or 5 different monitors visiting you, they're all telling you different things. This is a requirement, you have to submit this is required by the regulations. Or whether you're a sponsor and you've got various teams you're working with, various projects you're working on, and each one of them has their own idea about what a regulation is. This process takes all of that complexity, all of that chaos, and makes it very simple. It breaks it down to 4 areas. Whether you're researching a drug or whether you're researching a device, there are 4 basic requirements that the FDA will hold you to. That is, number 1, you need to follow the federal regulations. Number 2, you need to comply with anything that you agree to in an agreement with that sponsor. Number 3, you have to follow the investigational plan. Number 4, you have to follow the requirements of your IRB. So by using the F, the A, the I, and the R in those 4 requirements, taking any question that presents itself to you, whether it's about patient enrollment, consenting, recruitment, signatures on consent forms, or even something as simple as what color pen am I supposed to use to record data, you walk through those questions. Is it a line item in a federal regulation? Yes or no? Is it a line item in an agreement that I've signed with a sponsor? Yes or no? Is it in the investigational plan? Yes or no? And is it a requirement of the IRB? Yes or no? Now, if the FDA requires that you comply with all 4 of those areas, and you're not in compliant with one of them, you're therefore not in compliant with a federal regulation. And regulations are law. Regulations have to be adhered to. There's no choice. We have no choice in that matter. So any question that presents itself, if you're armed with those 4 areas, if you know those 4 areas, then you'll be better equipped to have a good answer. And I think one of the problems that has plagued our industry is we don't really know them. We need to know what the federal regulations are. We need to be familiar with Part 11, Part 50, Part 54, Part 56, Part 312 for drugs, and Part 812 for devices. That's what we need to know. We need to know those inside and out. We need to know what's in those agreements that we're signing. Getting a signature on an agreement is one thing, but knowing what's in them, that's the more important thing. And in the investigational plan, we need to know what's in that investigational plan. The most commonly cited finding in FDA inspections to date, still every year, is failure to comply with the investigational plan. So you might think,